Every year, thousands of injuries occur as a result of working with large animals. As a practicing veterinarian for almost 40 years, I've learned a thing or two about how to work with livestock. But without proper respect and precautions, even an experienced vet like me can find his way into trouble. When working with or around farm animals, preparation is the key to staying safe. Learn as much about the animal as possible. Keep in mind different handling techniques for different types of animals. For example, knowing that cows tend to kick in a round movement with their hind legs, or that you should take caution when a horse's ears are flat against its head can do you a lot of good. Also remember that individual animals have their own unique behavior patterns. Talk to the animal's primary handler to become acquainted with any unusual tendencies before you approach the livestock. If you're moving an animal, first take a look at the new facility. Don't let the mud and hay fool you. When it comes to farm animals, their decorating tastes are not only finicky, but important in keeping them calm and tranquil. Here are a few things to look for. Color, or to be more specific, just one color. Handling facilities should be painted in one color only, since all species of livestock are likely to shy away from a sudden change in color or texture. Beef, swine, and dairy cattle may be colorblind, but they are extremely sensitive to sudden changes in contrast. Take a look at all the different surfaces inside this barn. Now imagine if there was a contrasting color on the walls or on the fence posts. This would cause an animal to feel nervous and uneasy. Pay attention to the floors as well. Changes in surface texture, such as drains, grates, puddles, or even shadows, can cause an animal to refuse to walk in a certain area. Natural materials, such as dirt or hay, help to ease an animal's anxiety. Another feature to look for is lighting that is even and diffused. High contrast between bright lights and shadows will often cause cattle to balk, much like they would over a grate or drain. Animals rely on senses other than sight much more than humans do, especially their sense of smell. Often animals react to odors that we are not able to detect. For an example, a bull might become hostile if it smells a cow in heat, or sheep may be drawn to freshly mowed hay, kind of like I head to the kitchen when I smell fresh baked cookies coming out of the oven. Loud noises also startle livestock. Yelling should be kept to a minimum, and rubber bumpers on gates can reduce loud banging noises. Movement gets an animal's attention much more than the location, color, or identity of what's actually moving. If a handler is excited or aggressive, livestock may stop and watch the fast movements rather than respond to the handling. Horses and cows have extraordinary fields of vision which almost completely encircle them, 360 degrees. The major blind spot is directly behind them. Never approach an animal from this direction. I know I jump if someone sneaks up on me. Imagine the damage a 1,500-pound animal could cause by jumping or bolting when it is startled. Safety should always be on a handler's mind, especially when working with such large, powerful animals. The most common injuries include handlers being stepped on or kicked, being pinned against a barrier, or an animal slipping or falling on them. If you can avoid causing an animal anxiety, you will be safer while working with that animal. Still, you should always leave an escape route, especially if you are working in close quarters with livestock. Using proper handling equipment and keeping your facility clear of extraneous hazards will also avoid injuries. Respect the animals you work with, even if you are very familiar with them. You should always consider an animal unpredictable, even if you've cared for it for years. Don't let yourself be caught off guard, or you could be flirting with disaster.